Alright guys, good morning. I'm currently using the anamorphic lens setup for this vlogging. That's because someone is asking whether this Panasonic GH5 with the firmware update 2.0 are having a better stabilization for anamorphic lens. Well, let's test it now. Alright, I will be going out and then taking some footage, handheld, and then comparing it between the using the stabilization and without using stabilization, and let's see what the difference. Alright, let's going out now. Alright guys, just before we do the test, I think it's worth note that many stabilization option in GH5, as you can see in the written explanation there. I will start with no stabilization at all, and then moving on to dual stabilization and then anamorphic stabilization. Alright, so let's start it. Alright, this is no stabilization at all, and then I just static for 5 seconds, and now I move forward around 20 meters. As you can see, the G3 and the what do you call this, is the moving is not really good at all. Yeah, I stop there. Right. Alright, and now I move to dual image stabilization is on, but everything else is off, so there is no anamorphic stabilization at all. Here is static, looks better. Now I'm going to move forward. Even though it's it's better than previous one, but I can see the Gilo effect here. I think IBIS is try to compensate, but it's really not really good. Right, I stop there. Now in this video, I will start the anamorphic image stabilization on. Here is the static. Looks good. I mean, there is still moving, but it looks good. In here, even though it's bit jittery, but I think there is no Gilo effect at all. So yeah, I think it's much better than the dual IS. I stop here. So in this test, I turn the E-stabilization, meaning electronic stabilization. So here is static, and then I'll move forward around 20 meters right now. It seems, I don't know, I think okay. Yeah, I think we can use that as well. Alright, I'll stop here. Alright, in this footage, I turn the IS lock on, but E-stabilization off. Here is the static, looks good. Right, I think if you put the IS lock on, I don't know, it's bit weird. Alright, alright, now everything is on, so let's see what happens. Looks good for the static, but when I move, I think the impact of the IS lock is still evident here. Really is very coarse, the jittery. So yeah, I think well, I'll just stop here. Alright, now I'm going to compare side by side without image stabilization at all with the anamorphic stabilization, and see what is the result. Yeah, so anamorphic stabilization on is much better, much better, as you can see here. All right, let's move on then. All right, let's start with the comparison between dual image stabilization and anamorphic stabilization.